Nobody ever mentions that. I wonder why. They said it came 1,000 miles away from a bat, or it came from another country. They tried to blame Italy. They tried to blame us. But they gave that one up. That was also misinformation. But then it was finally revealed that this was most likely the truth, that it came from the lab. And it was a small little story, but when I said it, it was like a weapon went off, a major weapon. I won't use the word weapon, because I never use the word nuclear, but we have to be careful with our leadership, because if we don't have the proper leadership, we're in a very perilous state. So we don't use the word nuclear. I never use it, okay? Never use it. I never said it. That's called disinformation. Google and YouTube have deleted countless videos that dared to question the judgment of the World Health Organization, which has been wrong so often. It's been a really pipe organ for China, as most of you know, calling those videos misinformation, including videos that consist of clear scientific fact. Doctors and medical groups have been barred from these platforms for posting about therapeutics such as hydroxychloroquine. That's a familiar name. Which now, most recent studies say, is effective in combating the virus. 3 cents a pill. The drug companies don't like 3 cents a pill. 3 cents a pill is what it costs. But recent studies have come out very strongly in favor. Twitter has censored users simply for using the term illegal alien, which it has labeled as hateful content, and just taken you off for whatever reason. You have to see the sentence they took me off for. It's the most loving sentence. It's really amazing. They could have done better, because I've had a lot worse. I mean, I couldn't believe that was the reason. Take a look at it. You know exactly the sentence I'm talking about. It's become very famous. People are saying, really? Even the other side said, really? And of course, there is no better evidence that big tech is out of control than the fact that they banned the sitting president of the United States earlier this year, a ban that continues to this day, continues. So we get the word out, but it's not a fair situation. Very, very bad for this country, very bad for the world. If they can do it to me, they can do it to anyone. And in fact, that is exactly what they're doing. They're taking people off who don't even realize they were taken off. They have no idea why they were taken off. But what they're doing is incredible and incredibly dangerous. Joining us this morning are just a few of the many Americans who have been illegally banned or silenced under the corrupt regime of censorship. These brave patriots are included in the lawsuit, and thousands more are joining as we speak. Thousands more. They're all wanting to join. This will be, I think, will go down as the biggest class action ever filed, because thousands of people want to join. Jen Horton is a school teacher from Fenton, Michigan. Earlier this year, she was kicked off Facebook for sharing a post questioning whether young children should be required to wear masks. She had a question, giving both sides, and actually not negative, just giving both sides. That was enough. At the same time, as Jen was deplatformed, her brother had gone missing, and she was unable to get the word out to all of her followers. She had a lot of followers. Could not get the word out. And Jen, I want to thank you very much for being here and stepping forward. Takes a lot of courage. Would you like to come up and say something, Jen? Where's Jen? Jen, please. Thank you.
I just appreciate the opportunity to be here with all of these amazing patriots, and I thank you, President Trump, for everything you're doing for us.
Thank you, Jen, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jen. Dr. Kelly Victory, I love that name. I would have gone with that name if I had the choice. Is a board-certified trauma and emergency specialist from Colorado, great person, who was asked by the pastor of a church to prepare a video about how to mitigate risks of the China virus to allow church services to safely resume. Just a question. Could you give us some information? The video was outrageously removed from Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, with horrible statements being made by them. Kelly, thank you for your bravery. Please say a few words. Thank you. Facebook delayed the flight. The flight's delayed by 4 hours. I wonder. I can't believe that. That's terrible. What they will do. All right. Thank you anywhere. Here he is landing, going into Europe, going into Newark. Kelly Kejuan and Bobby Michael are angel parents. Their precious son, Brandon, was killed at just 21 years of age by a twice deported and very violent illegal alien. He caused a very fatal collision. Something should have never happened. Since then, they have heroically launched their own deeply personal fight to draw attention to the dangers of illegal immigration. They helped push through Florida's ban on deadly sanctuary cities, and they are indeed deadly. And they continue to be strong advocates for border security and immigration enforcement. But they have been cruelly and unfairly banned from Twitter. Would you like to say a few words? Where are you? Would you please?
Thank you, Mr. President. The fight for censorship must continue. We are in this. We will not allow our nation to be silenced. We stand together, and we thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. I see somebody running for office very soon. That was great. Well, I want to thank you very much. It's really terrific. So we're in a fight. We're in a fight that we're going to win. We're in a fight that people want us to take on. So many people have said to me, please, sir, do something about big tech. Sue them, sir, sue them. And they've been saying it to me for a long time, but there has never been a better time to do it. Polling released by Scott Rasmussen, highly respected, shows that nearly 2/3 of Americans believe big tech companies should be required to abide by the First Amendment guarantee of free speech. And I think those numbers are low, very low. 68% of Americans believe social media companies should prioritize their fair treatment of every citizen over protecting themselves. They want people protected. They want people to have their voice. And an overwhelming majority believe that tech giants have become too powerful. They've crossed the line many, many times, and by far too much. The American people's birthright of freedom must prevail against big tech and other forces that seek to destroy it. Through this lawsuit, we are standing up for American democracy by standing up for free speech rights of every American, Democrat, Republican, independent, whoever it may be. This lawsuit is just the beginning. It's a very big suit with great lawyers. I'll let you know about that in about a year from now. Maybe I'll change my mind, but I don't think so. They've had a tremendous track record in doing good. We'll also take this battle to the state legislatures, to Congress, and ultimately to the ballot box, and it will be a very popular one at the ballot box. I will never stop fighting to defend constitutional rights and sacred liberties of the American people. I will never stop. I will now ask John Cole and Pam Bondi, two terrific people that love our country so much, to step forward and discuss the suit. And then we'll take a few questions. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, John.
Hello. He's taller than me. This suit is really about freedom of speech. And what it is, it's basic that freedom of speech depends on certain things. One is who decides what's hate, who decides what's misinformation. It's not a couple guys out in California. It's always been the Supreme Court for over 200 years, and I would say they've done a heck of a job. We're taking this suit. We're going to prove that they are government actors. Therefore, the First Amendment does apply. And we think we will be victorious on that. We think that we're in the right area, which is southern Florida. And you have to understand that we can't let this happen. Because, you know, for all you out there who are Democrats and liberals or whatever you are, you're next. Now it's the conservatives, but as history shows us, it will turn maybe 5 years from now, maybe 3 months from now, maybe 10 years, but you're next. So I would urge people from the other side of President Trump's political party to join us, because you can't have this going on. And one last thing. The most hated thing by all the Supreme Courts over all the years is called prior restraint. That means that you can't speak. Pentagon Papers is the famous case. You can't do this because we say so. So the Supreme Court hates this. They think it's the worst kind of censorship we have. And when this gentleman cannot go on and say what he wants to say, that's prior restraint every minute of every day until this thing gets resolved. Thank you.
And I'm here not as part of that great legal team over there, but I'm very proud to be part of America First Policy constitutional litigation team. So I was here just to explain just a few things. And you know what John said, this is about our Constitution. This isn't just for conservatives. This is for our media. This is for everyone out there about censorship. This is for Democrats and even progressives whose speech should be protected under the First Amendment. If you recall, Tulsi Gabbard, she sued. Do you remember that? Tulsi Gabbard was censored when she was running for president, and so she sued. And, you know, people say that they have immunity, they meaning YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, under Section 230. Well, here's where that's changed. Section 230 came about in 1996, and it was an offshoot of the Decency Act to protect, really to protect against children being exploited online. That's what this was all about. So take it back to 96. How many users were there then? Probably about 20 million on AOL. Right, President? 1996. Now, what do we have? Facebook, Twitter, we have billions worldwide. So times have changed. The internet is flourishing, but First Amendment still must be protected. No one could envision what was about to happen with the internet in our country now, with billions of users worldwide. So that's why this is so important. And when you have Mark Zuckerberg and others being called in front of Congress and being coerced and being questioned by all these congressmen, then you also have Mark Zuckerberg emailing with Dr. Fauci about COVID. And in fact, a lot of their emails that we received have been redacted, not just because of phone numbers, but because they were trading trade secrets, things that they were, so a private company is communicating with the federal government, and parts of that were redacted. So that makes them, they're not immune anymore. They are not immune anymore. It was coercion, collusion, working together, and they cannot hide from the First Amendment. That's why this is so very, very important. Even Facebook's oversight board that Mark Zuckerberg created, the oversight board came back and said there were problems, and it lacked consistently being applied to everyone by community standards. So that's why this is so important for us, for our future, for all political parties, for all human beings around the world. We believe in the First Amendment, and America First policy will fight for it. Thank you.